4 wickets picked up by the pair, and as a result, England not as happy as they once looked. 207 for 5. They are 50 runs behind. With me, Nasir Hussain, to assess the situation for England and for Pakistan. Fascinating test match this.
Fascinating test match, fascinating day really. Wickets falling in clusters. First at the start of the day, Pakistan wickets fell in a hurry, and then at the end of the day with England. You'd still say England slightly ahead, but having to bat last and chase down a score is not going to be easy, because this pitch looks like it's going to turn more now as the game progresses. So all results possible, probably not the draw. It's going to be a result pitch. So all eyes on England tomorrow morning. But that was a much needed session, and all credit to Pakistan. Their heads could have dropped. They got 1 wicket and they ended up getting 4 in the session.
It was that man again, Ajmal, who spun the ball, who bowled lovely line, doosras, mixed it up with important wickets.
That's the big wicket. He had to open the door somewhere, and then he opened the door with Cook, who was batting beautifully. The doosra, very surprised Cook didn't review it. It wouldn't have done him any good, but it was an unselfish act from him on 94. This was unlucky from Peterson. It's a sort of dismissal you get when you're not getting runs. If he'd got 100 after 100, that would have flown off somewhere safely. But when you're out of nick, the inside edge it onto your pad, could have gone anywhere, went to Mohammad Hafiz at slip.
That's right, and Pakistan continued to make inroads, because that really was another important wicket. But more fun was to come Pakistan's way. Last ball of the day, Owen Morgan edging it to slip, and you can see the delight on the face of Ajmal and company. It really was an important breakthrough.
Yeah, it was a good delivery. He probably played there because he was worried about the dooser, and an excellent catch. In the last over of the day, to go low like that and take a catch, I'm really impressed with Mohammad Hafiz as a cricketer. And Saeed Ajmal, listen, this guy is going to take a lot of wickets. To carry on going like that, and people aren't picking him, and these are good players of spin, you know, the likes of Bell and Morgan, you know, and they're not picking him. In that last session, he was all over England.
Pakistan looked a little edgy because obviously they were about 50 runs light, and that played on the mind of the captain. Didn't make good decisions regarding DRS technology. And I want to ask you, who should be the in charge out there when it comes to a review part of the deal? The captain, the keeper, or the bowler himself?
Well, I think with the seamer on, then if you're a captain, generally you're fielding at first slip. You look at the likes of Brearley historically, Mark Taylor, Andrew Strauss, they're standing at slip, so he's got a good line. With the spinner on, your captain's probably somewhere extra cover, Misbah's at extra cover. You've got to go with the bowler and the keeper. Now, the problem with Pakistan is that the young keeper is very excitable. He's loving every moment of it, and he's getting very excited. Now, that is plumb. What you also need is someone with a very good cricket brain. Now that it's turning, on the back foot, you've got chance of LBWs there. On the front foot, you've got less chance of an LBW for Ajmal or any spinner.
So who was at fault then? Bowler, of course.
Bowler and captain, because the captain there should say, with a cricket brain, that's off the back foot, we'll review that.
Sure.
If he gets on the front foot to you, and then, you see, he can wave his arms, but he's got the final. It's not easy. We're seeing it down the line. He's at extra cover. But you do need a bit of a cricket brain to say back foot, I'm going to review that, not front foot.
And then Pakistan made a couple of more mistakes, because they chose to review a couple of decisions, and they clearly looked dubious.
This is where the keeper's getting excited. And then the captain's thinking, well, I've made 1 error, 2 wrongs don't make a right. He's made another error here. And it's a way, you know, that in modern terms is way outside the line. Trot now trying to get on the front foot, smother the spin. Again, way outside the line. So, you know, this was Mohammad Hafiz, actually. I think Mohammad Hafiz wanted it. The captain probably has to take emotion out of it. He has to say, well, I got 1 wrong, but it's like an umpire.
Sure.
When an umpire makes a bad decision in the old days, the worst thing he can do is try and drag it back and make things level and make another bad decision. And that's how Misbah or any captain shouldn't view it like that. Take emotion out of it.